Let's go and talk about rank climbing in Marvel Rivals. It has the ability to give you joy beyond human comprehension. I mean, when I hit Grandmaster, I pretty much felt like a god.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
But then in reality, it slaps you right in the face. Now the highs, guys, whew, they're pretty high, but the lows, the cold, unforgiving embrace of defeat after defeat, just dragging you straight into the void of despair where hope goes to die until it runs wild. But let's just get past that part. Because today, guys, I've got advice for every single rank in the game. How to escape the Elo Hell that you're currently in, including advice from the best of the best. We're also going to look at the statistically best heroes for all the roles in every rank to give yourself a much easier grind if you want to pick a new main. We got a lot to cover. Let's jump in. First up, guys, welcome to Bronze, where your biggest rival is the tutorial bots, and somehow you're still losing. This is definitely the true Elo Hell of Marvel Rivals, where players think that positioning is just a fancy word for standing in the middle and hoping for the best. This is definitely a free-for-all of sorts, and there's not a lot of rules. It's the Wild West, right? Now, over here, guys, we're going to have all of the heroes that are the highest in the statistical win category. Obviously, things are going to change, and some is going to stay the same as you go up. This rank, I would not worry too much about this. My personal pick is the last slot. And for Vanguard, obviously, you got Thor and Penny. Penny's a good choice, right? People are going to die a lot to the spider mines. Can't go wrong there. Also, Bronze is a free-for-all. A lot of people are playing by themselves. So Psylocke is a great choice for DPS, in my opinion. Mainly because if they even have a healer, you're able to pick them off. People aren't worried about one another. And then for strategists, I probably would agree, and I would say Mantis is a good choice here. You can put a heal over time on your teammates, and then obviously carry your own self-damage boost. That'll give you a good amount of carry potential. Now, for the biggest tips, guys, just pray to whatever god you believe in that you get semi-competent teammates. Most of them are going to come fresh from the womb, but really, guys, it's going to be a little bit of a grind fest here, especially if you don't come from other hero shooters. You're going to want to take this opportunity to learn the maps, learn the heroes, learn the game. That's the biggest takeaway. Don't flex and try to work on team comps. Just work on your hero and try to pick some of these suggestions over here as the best ones to give yourself a good chance to quote-unquote solo carry. But if you're down there, you're not going to be doing too much of that. Just not a whole lot of advice down here outside of maybe, you know, playing strategist can give you a little bit of an edge because you can at least keep your team up, and so many people don't pick strategists, so you know maybe you have the edge on the enemy team because you have one extra or one. Now quickly, guys, want to address an awesome sponsor for today's video, Exit Lag. Now you see, since the launch of Marvel Rivals, guys, I've had games with not only lag present, but games where I'm quite literally teleporting all over the map like some type of budget nightcrawler. And if you're playing, well, any hero, but especially things like Penny Parker, Spider-Man, Moon Knight, where precision and mobility actually matters, you know how frustrating this can be. And that is where Exit Lag comes in. It's going to provide that lag-free, ultra-smooth gaming experience to ensure that you can do your best so that when you're in the mid-fight, you're not dimension hopping to some other part of the map. And the best part is it's insanely easy to use. All you have to do is click the link down in the description below, head to the official site and make a quick account, download the app, and let it work its magic. It automatically finds the best server for you, instantly reducing the lag and stabilizing your connection. And for like actual proof, here is my ping before I have Exit Lag turned on, ready to go for Marvel Rivals. And by a quick switch of the button, here's my ping right after. Obviously, smooth, seamless, a lot better for competitive play. But the best part is, guys, it doesn't stop at Marvel Rivals. Exit Lag supports over 2,000 games, keeping your connection rock solid no matter what you're playing. Now, just for watching this video, being a viewer of the channel, they've got an awesome exclusive deal right now. You're going to get 50% off an entire year. That's a lag-free gaming for half the price, whole year. So what are you guys waiting for? Again, go ahead and check it out down below, and thank you to Exit Lag for sponsoring today's video. All right, next up, we've got Silver, and congratulations. You have players that have graduated from button mashing, but let's be honest, not all that much, right? You're gonna have people, this is the land of the almost good plays. People are gonna get a really good flank or ultimate and then proceed to do nothing else for your team. Can you expect teamwork? Sometimes. What about strategy? Only if like running in and dying counts. People are starting to figure it out a little bit, but it's like a small bump up from like the bronze experience, and you can expect a little bit of team play. Now, looking at the best heroes, Thor and Captain America are going to be on top for the tanks. And my personal pick again is going to be Penny for a lot of the maps. You know, offense Penny's not so good, but still people not looking at equipment, you can protect your healers, and she's good on a large majority of game modes and maps. Taking a look at duelists, again, you've got Storm at a much higher win rate because people are getting mechanically a bit better. 58% is just about the highest you're going to see today. And Magic also at 58. Both of these really good heroes to just kind of carry and do immense damage. Both have ultimates that can essentially wipe teams by yourself for, again, an easy way to carry. And my personal pick, yes, I'm going to go with Storm. Play her when you can, right before the bans. She's incredibly good for a reason. And for strategists, we have Rocket Raccoon at 53% and Loki at 52. Now, I'm going to say Dagger is definitely going to be my personal pick that I would recommend here. Cloak and Dagger have low win rates because they're on both teams, and so one Dagger's got to lose and the other wins, and it kind of evens out. You're going to see that a little bit with the statistics here, but Cloak and Dagger are such a beginner-friendly hero. You have everything you need to self-survive and keep the team alive, and Mantis is good kind of on her own in Bronze, but with Cloak and Dagger, you're hoping to finally start playing with the team a little bit, and they're definitely a solid pick if you want to just get, the basics down. And plus, they're incredibly broken at the moment. Now, as far as tips for silver rank, I would say, again, largely we're going to focus on you and not the team. Outside of, you can start flexing into a role that your team needs if you want to be that guy, right? And it's important to start learning to be that guy because you're going to need to, especially as you climb ranks. Now, you can start focusing on some team ups here, but mainly perfect one or two heroes in the role that you like to play the most and probably the second most, right? Learn a couple, Vanguard, Duelist, Strategist. Doesn't really matter. You're going to see a lot of people blame their healers at this rank. It's not them. You have no idea that they're getting dived. You just think you're not getting healed. You're going to see that a lot. Don't really worry about it. Focus on your own gameplay. And outside of that, guys, and again, everything here applies for all the ranks, but in Silver, I want you to focus on ultimate usage, getting the most out of your ultimate. I see a lot of people in Silver just willy-nilly throw out their ultimate to try to do something of impact, and they're doing nothing in a 6v1 scenario. So holding on to that ultimate as a strategist for just the right time, or, the duelist to try to combine it with your tank's ultimate, little things like that, just focus on your own ultimate usage, and that's going to really help you win team fights, which is obviously a big part of winning down here. All right, gold rank, guys, is where things get a little interesting. You've got teammates and players that got enough knowledge to get a little cocky, except they have nothing to back it up, right? Your teammates are going to love to blame other people, but their KD is looking like a football score, right? The shot accuracy has improved, except when it counts. This is what a lot of people like to say is one of the hardest elos to get out of, because of really, this is when personalities come to shine, right? That team chat's coming out. However, there's a lot more strategy here than silver and gold, so you can actually start to really put something together. And this is where I recommend definitely starting to try to duo. All the tips today is for solo, but if you can get a friend, this is going to help you a lot, because just having someone as a healer and a tank, or a healer and duelist, or two good duelists is going to go a long way. Now, taking a look at the stats, guys, we have Vanguard with Hulk and Penny at the top. Hulk is because people are finally starting to learn about the Iron Man team up. You can't ban it. It's very good to hard carry here. And my personal pick, I would say probably Doctor Strange. It kind of forces everybody that's newer learning about team togetherness to stay behind you, and you can lead the pack, and you have an AoE to set up your okay duelist to get the kills. He's just very good at helping the team with overall coordination, and this is a good place to learn Doctor Strange. When it comes to duelists, again, Storm Magic, top of the list. This is not going to change all that much. And my personal pick is going to go to Namor. Namor is insanely strong. The turret's going to do a lot of the work for you. The people that are good at Black Panther and Magic at this rank aren't good enough to deal with a Namor, and so you're going to shut them down, effectively just like winning the match for your team. And we have Strategist, Cloak and Dagger actually at the top of the list at 53%, with Rocket right behind. And I'm going to maintain my personal pick being Cloak and Dagger in these early ranks. They're just way too good right now. And you've got auto aim, you have auto healing, everything you need to climb. Now, as far as general tips, guys, if you have good teammates, consider yourself lucky. And if you don't, get ready to communicate. You got to learn to communicate at this rank. If you don't have a microphone, it's going to be tough to climb, and it's fine if you don't, but at least try to type in team chat when you can. Don't stop what you're doing and spawn and type, but, communicate to the best that you can to form even a basic strategy. Now, the last rank, I said worry about your ultimate usage. This is where you want to really hone in on your hero's ability usage and not just randomly using your abilities because they're off cooldown, but making sure you get the most out of it. On top of that, I would say you're learning about team play here. So not dying alone. If you're dying alone a lot, even if you're Black Panther and some of these flank heroes, you're doing something wrong. You need to not die alone and or stagger. And essentially stagger, if you don't know what that means, is 5 people are alive, 1 guy dies, the enemy team wipes you, and you kind of keep doing that. Or 2 people go in, and as they die, they keep going in, and you can never get your entire team together, and the opponent has their team together, and you lose. It's very hard to claim a point when you have 2v6, then 4v6, then 2v6. It doesn't work. So congratulations, you've made it to Platinum, right? And you're going to notice an increased friction in success, and it'll be a lot harder to win than before, and you're not going to really know why. No matter how good you seem to do, sometimes it just doesn't matter. And Platinum, you've got a wide mix of players. People that have either kind of brute force their elo to get here, and they're not that great, but they think they are, and they're going to start, insta-locking that DPS role, which can happen at any rank, but Platinum players have a special aura about them. At least you had the benefit of good strategy going on. Like, team fights are going to be making sense. Positioning is decent. People are actually going to remember they have an ultimate ability and to use it and use it wisely. I would say this is where people typically have big egos, though, and they like to flame their teammates more than just play the game. But the best heroes at this rank, starting with the Vanguards, is going to be Penny Parker at 53% and the Hulk again at 52%. Now, you're going to notice here on forward, my personal pick is mainly going to be Magneto, because Magneto having a tremendous, just good solo carry kit. His ultimate is amazing at keeping yourself and your team alive. You have huge survivability with all of your abilities, and then on top of that, you can get rid of the healers in their ultimates with your own ultimate. So very solid hero across the board, and definitely my favorite Vanguard for solo climbing. Duelist, we've got Storm at 56 and Magic yet again, and my personal pick down here is going to be Winter Soldier, and that's because, well, strategist, we've got Rocket and Loki on top. Winter Soldier is one of the most picked heroes right now in the game. This is the rank where you're going to start really getting your mechanics down, and if you're not going to climb out of it. And so you want to go ahead and pick a hero and a duelist that is kind of focused heavy on those mechanics, and you can definitely, go a different route and play Namor still, or maybe Moon Knight. Your results are going to show each and every game as you get better at aiming with Winter Soldier, and on top of that, you're going to have a rocket in like every single game. And so you're going to have just good team synergy, which is a good thing to focus on this rank. Now, when it comes to the tips for Platinum, really, obviously, at this point, you should know at least 1 or 2 heroes in most of the roles. Be willing to flex and work with the team and try to play your best role, but again, be flexible. But this is where you want to learn on some of the mechanics, right? First of all, just learning the ping system. So pinging flankers or pinging yourself when you need healing goes a long way to communicate. Kind of a point I made in gold rank. You should be doing this earlier, but this is a good time to kind of think about it. And while you're doing pings, guys, you need to focus on your healers and just kind of evaluating the enemy team, right? So if the enemy team has a Black Panther or they've got Spider-Man and Venom, your healers are going to have a hell of a game. And so you need to focus on protecting your healers. Or if you've got one tank and your healer, you need to focus on keeping them alive, because they're going to get the majority of the shots and the damage. You got to know the roles for your team and your specific role as your hero, and this is a great place to learn that in Platinum. Now, obviously, staggering is still going to be a big thing here, but learning when to take fights and learning when you can actually try to take the objective. When can you win that fight? What ultimates do you have? And trying to be that kind of leader. When it comes to leading your team, it's tough, right? Because like Survivor, nobody likes a leader. There's only going to be one leader, right? And if someone else is doing that role, that's fine. Let them do it. But if no one's doing it, then take the initiative. When we get into bans and Diamond, you'd be surprised. No one bans stuff sometimes, and then one person says something and everybody bans it. All right, moving on. We go to Diamond. This is where things are starting to get serious, right? People are starting to think they get paid to play the game. Expect insane kills followed by the worst deaths that you've ever seen, and a lot of attitude problems because people are that much closer to Grandmaster and that elusive crest that everybody's going for. The closer you get to, Grandmaster, Diamond 2, Diamond 1, it's going to get bad. And those people that, let's say, pick Iron Fist because they got all the way there, they believe that they're the best Iron Fist in the world, and you're going to have to let them do what they do. It's a tough rank. Now, looking at the best heroes at this tough rank, we've got Vanguard with Penny and Doctor Strange at the top, with my personal pick, again, maintaining as Magneto. Duelist, we've got Magic taking over the top spot because bans are in existence here, and Black Panther at 53%. Obviously, both of these very good solo carry duelists, with my personal pick being Moon Knight. And lastly, strategist, we have Rocket Raccoon at 54% and Cloak and Dagger at 53%. With my personal pick, again, going to Loki. Now, this is where you start to see a little bit of the triple support meta, a lot of it, actually, and Moon Knight is a great way to take care of that at the moment. Moon Knight's also just good to get quick flank kills and play with your team and not be out of position. Teaches you a lot, even though he's simplistic to play. Very good hero to learn. Diamond is just a great place to get Moon Knight going. You get Groots that know what they're doing. If you play Moon Knight before that, he could be good, but you need a decent team around you to really elevate his play. All right, so when it comes to tips, guys, you already know what you're doing, right? But for a little bit of tips, this is where you want to put everything together, combined with just mastering positioning and kind of telling the future what's going to happen, knowing what your opponent is doing, how they're lining up, where they're lining up, and what is the best place on the map to take advantage of what they're doing, right? If they're all grouped up together all the time, then go to Moon Knight and take advantage of that. Their best player is something you have to start focusing on. If they got a killer Loki, again, Moon Knight is a great example there. Black Panther has 20 kills, probably go to Namor. If he's banned, figure something else out. Go to Penny and try to get nets around your healers. There's a lot of counter picking you can start to do at this rank. And positioning is so important because you don't want to risk a fight that you have, a 30% chance of winning. You want to make sure you're always taking fights where you have heavy favor to win that duel. And it's just a thing that's going to take time to learn. This is also going to be the rank of flexibility. You've got people that are hard committed to their role on top of bans of your favorite hero or even counter bans, man. People are looking up your stats at this point. It happens to me. And they banned the Spider-Man that you played all the way to get here. And if that's all you played, you're going to be screwed. You got to know how to flex, how to adapt with your team. If you've got a weak support, go triple support. If you have a bad DPS, maybe find a team up to help them out if they're not willing to change. And then mastering communication. Again, it's kind of a combination of everything you learned, and that's how you can have the best chance outside of also just perfecting a couple heroes mechanically. All right, so welcome to Grandmaster, right? Every match feels like a $100,000 tournament final. You're going to have players that don't blink or breathe. Their chairs have sweat stains. And then you're going to have people that are the best of the best and they haven't climbed out of this, or they're terrible and they got carried here and they belong in gold. Every decision is calculated. Every mistake is punishable. And you have to really start to respect the other players on the other team because just about everybody knows what they're doing at this rank. Now, taking a look at the picks, guys, let's just show them all at once. We've gone through enough of these. We have Thor actually at the top alongside Doctor Strange, both with extremely high pick rates as well. Duelist is going to be Magic and, wait for it, Iron Fist of all heroes. Low pick rate, but extremely good win rate. And then we've got Rocket Raccoon and Loki being at the top for Grandmaster. Now, at this point, you're going to be playing probably the hero that's best for you to play, but these are statistically doing the best here at the moment. And when it comes to advice, when you're at this point in time, there's not a lot more to learn outside of the little fundamentals, right? And learning to team up a lot better and clearing up your communication, right? Teaming and doing combined ults like Moon Knight and Doctor Strange, Moon Knight and Groot, whatever it might be. And then learning not to tilt. There's going to be plenty of games where you get blown out of the water here at Grandmaster and you just kind of lost the random number generator of a good team. That happens at all ranks, but Grandmaster, when you have some of the best players in the world, it's going to happen where some of those best players are on heroes that can solo carry a lot better than you can. Also, this is even more kind of echoing the countering their best player, trying your best to slow down what's helping their team the most. In the NFL, they try to slow down the star player. That's your job here. Another big piece of advice is because everybody's so good, try not to be the hero, right? In other ranks, you probably have significant skill, or you think you do, of a lot of people, and you can carry a ton. And there are heroes that can carry at this rank, but everybody is respectable for the most part, unless they got carried. They were strategists, and they had good team, whatever. But for the most part, everybody's going to punish you if you make bad mistakes. You have to limit your mistakes. That's probably the biggest tip that I can give. Limit mistakes and make sure your positioning and your team comp and your team positioning is going to be the best that it can be. All right, guys, last but not least, we've got the top of the top, all the top ranks combined. And I myself, I'm not a top 500 player. I am aiming to get there. But luckily, I'm friends with a good amount of the top players within Rivals, and they gave some good advice overall. Now, towards the top, obviously, mechanics is a major part of getting better. To the small nitty details like keeping your emotions in check and not tilting, to just learning ultimate situational awareness, who popped their ults, when did they pop them, who on your team has your ults. If you watch anybody at a top level, they're pressing tab if they're playing on PC all the time to try to track their own team. But also perfecting mechanics, target priority, knowing and mastering one character, but up to 3 to 6 in different roles. Even so much as starting to know who is good at what character so you can target ban. If there's a god Star-Lord on the other team, they've got to that rank for a reason, so you should probably convince your team to ban Star-Lord. Now, taking a quick snapshot of all the best heroes, there's definitely gonna be some picks here that might surprise you, but currently these are all the best win rate percentage heroes, and a lot of my picks are gonna be based on what you're seeing here at the top of the top. Outside of strategists, I've got Cloak and Dagger because their ban rate is a lot less than what you would see in other ranks before it. And there you guys go. That's all the ranks. That's all the advice and statistics that you need to get yourself rank climbing. Now just go and play the game. If you enjoyed the content here, trying to get up to 100,000 subs. So again, subscribe down below. And as always, we'll see you on the next one, and happy rivaling.